probably screwed.
Bar's losing at the expert bass songs now. Good meme.
Am I ready to go, man? I want to bring a holy wrench. If you can't, that's weird, man.
I think it's weird to.
Like, you can ban people from subreddits. I'm falling, I'm falling. I'm falling,
I just watched someone. They smoked an entire burger. Um,
Okay.
like instead of like smoking the meat patty, they made the burger, put the cheese on it, like bun and everything, and then just put it in the smoking chamber and smoked the entire thing.
Interesting.
And Okay, so it's a bunch of people who are like that. And like, of course, you don't know until you would die and then don't, right? You don't know you're one of these people. And
Mexican boots.
still get a B. Stupid.
Gotta work on that timing, man.
Dude! Oh no! How is this like 0.5 stars above? Oh. Last like quarter of the song is crazy. Fuck. God. I can't play a song like this that's like 100% the first 75% of the song and then I fail on the last. I can't.
Yeah. Were you surprised to hear that I went to school today?
Yeah. Did you go to sleep?
I did.
You did?
It's weird.
You slept
I
and
think
got up for school.
the less amount of sleep I get, the more motivated I am to get up and go to school. Within a range.
Here's the thing: is I woke up to my alarm and I was like, if I got up now, I could get to school on time. And like, I was like, no, I don't want to. I have 2 classes to go to today. I don't want to go to either of them. I'm just gonna sleep in.
Yeah.
Fuck that slider, dude.
How much what per hour? Kills per hour? Not very fast. Maybe
Cocksucker.
maybe max 10. Not very good. I'm here for a spiritual creature, spiritual mage's task, so it's killing these for kill count. Takes a little while. And I'm alching drops and stuff.
Is that a big old fan behind you in your background?
No?
What is that circular thing in the back?
Oh,
It's like one of those big circular
it's
fans.
a bungee chair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at that and I was like, man, that would be awesome for Beat Saber, dude.
No, it's not a fan, but I do have a
Have
big
it.
fan that size upstairs. No, it's a bungee chair. It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird. It's bungee cords and you sit on it. And it's bouncy.
Every time. I make the same mistake every time I play the song. I can't. Fuck. One of 2 mistakes, actually. Oh my fucking god. What is the... This map is shit.
Loop half of key.
This one's worse. What rhythm is this to?
for ghostly essence. Damn.
Yes. I'm so good at the stream. You should. Fuck. So first week of December, we have classes and then finals start. So yeah, we have class next week, then a week off, then 3 more weeks of classes. Oh god. Look at my spreadsheet. That means that all the missing things fall into those 4 remaining weeks. Okay. So those 4 remaining weeks. I've already handed in assignment 3. Need to get marks back for that. Music is not even a worry. Like, 0 concern on my mind about that. Math, handed in assignment 3. Okay, so 2 more assignments remain for math. 3 more assignments for computer science. 2 more tests for French. Plus an oral exam. And the astronomy and midterm. Okay. There's like 2 or 3 things left for each class. That's fine. You know what, Adam? It's fine.
You're fine. You're doing good, man.
It's fine. I currently have a 25 in computer science, a 42 in music, a 15 in math, an 11 in French, and a 21 in astronomy.
Have you looked at this assignment for this Monday? Comp sci assignment?
No. Not yet. I downloaded it. I have it here, but I haven't opened it yet. Let me take a quick look. I did download it, right? That's one I did down. Where's the folder? My desktop is such a mess, dude. Like, it's awful.
Not as bad as mine. I have
I
files
don't know
everywhere. I have
Me too,
random
I have files
programs.
everywhere.
It's probably just... I just died. Rip.
The problem with mine is that it, because it's on my 4K monitor, it's so easy to have like a million things, because a single row is like 20 items, like for a single column.
Yeah.
So like, by the time you get more than one column, you're already like running 20 things on your desktop. And I've got it stacked up to over 5 columns now.
starting points, doesn't it?
Yeah, you need to give it starting points. Like, you need to seed the starting and you need to seed the foreground and background. And then he says you should consider
I think I've seen this actually.
He bet you 20 bucks. Come on, baby.
Let me see what you got, huh? Say you go hit it one time, or?
Hits his chest. Immediate. That's alright.
Europe versus.
This is
one right hand. I saw your tweet. I understand. Look, we've done our homework. We watched the dive. Okay. You know, watch this or that.
He's not making eye contact with
tea
me.
leaves. Read the tea leaves. And so far, no one has any clue what's going to go on. So I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to hope for 5 games. I want Fnatic to be defending their title next year, so 3-2 Fnatic. That's my prediction.
Do you align? IG in 5, Fnatic strikes back in Europe.
Ooh, oh, that would be quite a story. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you guys once again for taking the time to join us here on the desk. Please go.
It's our pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. Now, looking back at the championship matchup, Shock's caught up with Young Buck to gauge his confidence here in Incheon.
Thank you very much, Dash. I'm here with Young Buck, head coach for Fnatic. Young Buck, what a wonderful occasion. Now, you've gone through a lot with G2 and Fnatic both, and also in your player career. Could you first talk to me about what it's like to see this awesome venue and these 2 teams in the final?
It means so much to me. I've never seen a venue this big because we've never made it this far. But I've never made it this far with any of my teams, even though we've been trying to represent the West for like 2 years with both G2 and now with Fnatic, and MSI didn't go that well. And now we're here on the big stage, and we've already been talking to the team like there are so many players we have to miss out on this opportunity, but we are here, we made it, and we can be really proud of ourselves.
There are, of course, a lot of players from Europe that would wish they were in this position. What does it mean to the EU LCS and for Europe that Fnatic was able to make it this far?
I think it means a lot to Europe, but also to NA that we have been giving hope, and that Cloud9 has been doing the same, because all these years it's always been about going to Worlds and Korea will win and China might be able to overthrow the Koreans. But now here we are as a Western team actually representing all of Europe in the finals, and I hope that it also inspires the other teams to let them know that you guys can also be here.
It's definitely a huge inspiration, but now let's get to the meat of it. You gave me a very interesting prediction when I asked you before your match versus C9. Versus IG is a different beast though. They are such a phenomenal team. What are your predictions for today?
So I think we're going to win the first game, almost no matter what. But I think Red Side will be very difficult, and I think if we overcome the second game, even if we somehow drop the first game and come back in the second game, we'll take the series. If not, it might be a very tough series. But I will say 3-1.
A bit less confident then before the semifinal?
Well, it's the finals and not the semifinal.
Clearly, that is true. Thank you very much, Young Buck. The best of luck. Back over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Shocks. Young Buck calling the victory, but he says perhaps in a 3-1 fashion.
I hope he calls the victory.
Well, I would be, yes, I would be concerned if he did.
Mentality, Dash.
Nah, we'll give it to IG. Saying blue side, he thinks is going to be very important for this team today.
And that's what everyone needs to be paying attention to. It's what are these teams going to determine what is the priority pick. We saw some blind LeBlanc going through. We know that both Rookie and Caps can pop off on this pick. But if the LeBlanc gets banned, like how far down the line do we go? Because that's your big thing with blue side is you have the ability to immediately grab a power pick.
I feel like usually in tournaments when the meta is established and more power picks are coming through, you understand which ones are the counter picks. Usually Red Side is beginning to gain more strength. I think IG with their championship pool here, I think they can create a lot of hassle there for Fnatic.
Yeah, willing to note the Fnatic won the coin toss. That's why they got selection in that first game. And every week at the tournament has actually kind of changed our perception of picks and power on blue side or red side, whether it's Victor or unknown Victor counter pick.
saying, if you're going to throw your faith behind, you know, a Western or a European squad, it's always going to be Fnatic. They're the kings of Europe, and they're now kind of taking the rightful place. Season 1 champions, now looking at season or possible Season 8 champions. And again, IG haven't even won their domestic region. Fnatic are like, no problem, check out our trophy case.
Yeah, usually the last one standing, hoping to be the absolute last one standing tonight. Now, in the journey to the finals, Fnatic booked their trip to Incheon after a dominating semifinal win, captured on this week's Mic Check.
We're not only playing against C9, we're also playing against IG already. Mental.
True.
Rio.
I agree.
It's the new pictures. There's bearded Reckless on the screen.
Oh.
But I think they win the beard war.
All right, guys, make sure have a high energy, kill them. Oh, okay?
Yeah, man.
All right, kill them all. Let's win today.
Yep. I can 6-1 creep. So okay.
Yeah. I'm
going.
Okay. I'm gonna.
LeBlanc's moving with him.
Right, they're coming.
You guys have stop window.
I'm ulting for HP. You guys need to get out.
I can't get out.
You guys
you get out of Ken. Get out of Ken.
Okay, I should be fine.
Go, April, go, April.
April slash, yes, no?
Yes, has flash. No.
He's left. Nice. Nice, let's fucking go, guys. Nice.
There we go. We see Echo. Back up, Echo.
No, it's good. We can win this.
He flashed on me.
He's dead.
I'm coming. We can do Nash, no? We can do Nash. Nash is free. Yes, we have Mount. I have a full item complete. I mean, I'm Monster Vicar, by the way. Unkillable in all situations of the game.
I have nothing to help.
You don't want to kill me!
Oh, I'm dead.
No,
Sneaky's dead too.
We're fine.
No.
Oh,
We've done this before.
Oh, that's
what? You didn't take a claw?
That's a no claw player.
I'm playing for KDA over here.
That's a beautiful KDA right there.
Yeah, almost.
Okay, nice try.
That's nice, guys.
That's a good shot.
Really baited me.
Why did he bait you?
Understand it.
Oh yeah.
Is that another free kill? I told you he had flash.
Yeah, and Julio was like another free kill, so I had to go for it. But I was thinking first like, well, he's just gonna flash and kill me. But then Julio was like, another free kill, so I was like, then I felt pressured.
Okay. Chunk him.
We're gonna blow him, yeah. Just one shot. Yeah.
Nice.
Good shot.
Yeah.
3K. I can't get big anymore. Now
3K. I'm going in.
Can we finish?
Nice one.
He flashed in.
Let's fucking go, guys. Sick.
Nice.
Look. I bought them. I'm up in. Big stop. Watch his ear. He can still cross off.
He's in smoke.
Look here. Zero.
I can eat on him, maybe.
I'm dead. He's gonna kill us all.
Win. He killed everyone. Holy shit, Cap. Is that a penta?
Oh my god.
Oh my Cap!
Don't show that you're like overly excited to be in the finals. Show that.
I think this is where I cut in and say that let's win first.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Don't worry, we're gonna win, bro. Don't worry. Don't be like overly excited or anything. Show IG that you're ready to play a finals, and you're not here for fun.
Yes, I agree.
It's mental game already.
I'm here for fun.
I'm here for fun.
I'm having fun.
Fnatic loses, there will be people that look back and say they never played a Korean team and look who they played in the semifinals. But if they win, I think there would be no doubt that this would be the best Western team of all time.
Yeah, and I think it's, again, if we talk about like context, I don't want to compare this Fnatic versus other like European or Western team superstars, because for me it's just like this is the best chance that I think a Western team is ever going to get at lifting the trophy.
It's hard to argue with a world title if they are to secure. What about on the side of IG? If they win, are they the best LPL team that we've ever seen?
I like this question.
This is
a
so
tough
hard.
one.
So you have to understand, if you don't watch the LPL, Edward Gaming and RNG have won everything. And then there's maybe like a WE championship in there, an OMG early one. The first time that Invictus Gaming even went to the finals, it was in 2013 spring and 2018 summer. Now, they've been to the playoffs like 10 times, but they just have never lifted the trophy. At that big final last hurdle, they haven't got it. So can you be the best LPL team just because you lift the Summoners Cup?
That's how important Worlds can be, though.
It's the only one that matters.
The LPL hasn't won a World Championship, and if you looked at their year in totality, 2 17-1 regular seasons and a World Championship, I feel like it will be hard for a single LPL year to top that. So it's crazy to think without ever winning an LPL title. I think the answer is yes if they were to dominate.
This is like when you go to university and the professor's like, by the way, the final test, that's worth 90% of your grade.
Exactly.
This is bringing back some nightmares for me. Thank you very much for that. It's tough, right? You've got a team in RNG that's won everything but a world title, and then you have IG who's poised to do what RNG has not. One of Fnatic's most veteran players, though, Reckless, feels that for this team to reach its peak, it had to trudge through some serious valleys.
So the first moment I thought we could do really well at Worlds was in Spring Split, when I was having probably the split of my life, and we were winning the split once again after not having the trophy for about 2.5 years. But then MSI came around and I realized we have way too many flaws. We only knew really how to play around me, and the AD carries at MSI were a step above, I would say. I think the only ones I could match were the ones that didn't matter, and the ones I couldn't match were the ones that mattered. So I felt like MSI was kind of a wake-up call for me to give my teammates more trust so that we can have more styles of play when it really comes down to it, and when we're in these big moments at Worlds. Which is why I think this whole thing about me stepping down in the summer split was actually a good thing, because it allowed my team to figure out how to play the game without me, so that when I came back for the playoffs, it didn't necessarily feel like it was my show anymore. It was our show instead. And I think that is why we are so successful this Worlds as well, because we have a different guy every game stepping up and carrying the weight, and I think that is much more valuable than me doing it game by game.
I mean, Reckless there accrediting, him stepping away from the team as being a big boon to their development and what has made them successful here at the World Championship.
Yeah, and this guy's matured so much. I remember his first major international event when he was 16 years old. It was IPL 5, and that tournament had the defending world champions in TPA. It also had one of the best Korean teams at the time in his group plays. And Fnatic, with the 16-year-old Reckless, made it all the way to the finals where they played against Team WE, and then they fell short. And he's been grinding really ever since that to try and prove that he can win a best-in-the-world title, and now he has that chance, which is incredible.
Speaking of grind, I played with him in a team. When he was 14, I was 16. It was back in Season 1, even pre-Season 1. And already then, he was working hard. He wanted to play every tournament, wanted to play solo queue all the time. And this drive, 8 years, and it has never been lost.
One of the many veterans on the stage searching for that title. 18 minutes ahead of game time, or opening ceremony rather. Fans are streaming in, the stadium's beginning to fill up. I want to talk about another one of the guys, the veterans on the side of IG, who's looking to hoist that Summoners Cup.
And really, it's going to be about Rookie. Anyone who's watching Victus Gaming knows that this is the guy to focus on, and it's the road home for Rookie. You have to understand, he won LCK in 2014. At the height of his career, leaves for the LPL with the Great Korean Migration, and we call him a career Korean. He's really left his fingerprint on one of the most historic organizations, a pillar of the LPL. And so for him to approach Worlds after never being in a final, to lift that trophy in front of a Korean crowd, it just justifies everything. It's #worth for Rookie. I made the right call.
All right, well, for more on that matchup, let's gather some thoughts from Captain Flowers, Papa Smithy, and Kobe, who will be bringing you Game 1 after the opening ceremony.
Thank you very much, Dash, and I cannot tell you how excited we are to be here for the World Finals, especially a Finals with so many explosive players on the Rift. As we heard from Reckless, Fnatic has been carried from all over the place. We've been seeing carry performances across the board from IG as well, and I know, Papa Smithy, you were specifically excited about the top lane.
Yeah, I'm just waiting and counting down for the champion set. The opening ceremony is going to be great, but I'm just excited about the opening bans and how the top lane really pans out, because we have to remember, we've come a long way. We saw Aatrox versus Urgot dominate the conversation
in the lead up to this tournament, at the start of this tournament, and then the evolutions from there. We're in a grand final where Jace and Victor Top are the most contested top laners in many ways. It's actually affected the starting lineups because Soaz was starting, Duke was starting for these teams earlier in the year when it was more of that bot lane focused meta. The MSI meta feels like a long time away, and now we have the Shy and of course Whippo on the other side for those dominant forces, and what they get their hands on and whether there's something new, because you check those solo queue accounts, there's some spicy stuff in there, Code.
There definitely is, and with the increased importance that we've seen with these all-star solo laners, I want to turn the lens as well towards the junglers and the supports, the roles that are setting those guys up, because it has been so much about the movement for both of these two teams. In the game number 1 where IG beat Fnatic in group stages, Ning had very successful early ganks bottom lane to set them up. Meanwhile, when Fnatic got their victory, it was Broxa and it was Hylissang making so many movements, especially up towards the mid lane.
And with the amount of crazy plays that we've seen so far at this tournament, it's going to come down to who wants it more. Who really is the better team that can show up and do what, honestly, we've seen both of these teams do so many times now already. But that's what we're looking out for ahead of the championship match. Until then, back to you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Can't wait to see you guys in that cast. But Fnatic versus IG, both in Group D. First time we've ever had two teams from the same group run the knockout stage and meet each other in the finals. What a treat.
They demolished that group.
Absolutely.
Like, it really just felt like an appetizer for them to play against each other, and then Fnatic winning 2 games in a row on that final day to get what ended up being a very important first seed.
I feel like it's so hard to take anything away from these games because the meta has evolved so much. In these games, we had a lot of dice bottom, and right now, you know, we see the Ornn on the...
There's the Ornn, yeah.
There's the Ornn. The meta's completely shifted. The only thing we can take away is the stylistic differences. We have a team that is heavily focused on the team play and one that is focused on the individual play.
Yeah, and it's now kind of a question of what's the next evolution? Have we seen all that this world has to offer? Because it feels like every single stage along the way, we get like a brand new pick or something surprising that comes out. Even Victor being moved down into the bottom lane. So what's the cherry on top here? Is it simply a Western team or an LPL bringing home the first championship? Or are we going to see it like another trump card get laid down?
I mean, we just heard from the casters that they're kind of looking at jungle support, the more supportive roles behind some of those solo laners. But that's what I want to talk about. Top lane, mid lane, we've got some big names as well as some big expectations for how they'll play out.
And the solo lanes are absolutely crucial. We see this tilting so many different matchups. We're going to start in the top lane with Whippo versus the Shy, the 2 designated starters for these teams because they both brought top lane subs. But the Shy really invalidated the Aatrox pick in the series against G2, unless he was playing it, in which case he was 4v1. 1v4, the other way around.
There you go.
And then you look at Whippo, who actually has better numbers than the Shy across the entire tournament, much because of his domination of Licorice in their semifinal.
And the thing is if you take a peek at their solo queue, they've got a few extra champions still kind of hanging around there, and we'll see if they pop out during the
you want to say
series.
Riven?
I want to say Riven. And it should be noted, if you
Riven.
don't know anything about the Shy, he was originally a streamer before he went pro, and he was a Riven one-trick. So if you're looking at one of the best Riven players in the world, he's played it a couple times in the LPL, it's sick.
He wants to play it so he can get that skin
Wants the
if he wins.
championship skin.
Exactly.
Yeah. And listen, based on performance, I do feel like the Shy has been the best top laner in the world at this World Championship. It's his individual mechanics, how quickly he cancels auto attacks, how much he wins these matchups by, has been so incredibly impressive. I think if we get peak the Shy, I think IG wins the series, but he's got to show up.
He's definitely a top performer, but he is up against
More note grouping, dude. That's what we got. In the next,
You'd be hard pressed to find somebody who knows who that guy is.
Oh, it's crazy. Like Whippo, I barely know him. Like he just appeared.
in the next music thing, more note grouping.
You know, whenever he's getting interviewed, he has this energy about him, and I think it's been, you know, the journey of Whippo is just incredible. Like the fact that he has this name even makes it ridiculous. It makes sense for him to take it home. You know, the story of Whippo is one for the enemies. You know.
And what I think is so impressive about Whippo is just not his mechanical ability, the decision making that he does. You know, for a player that is so new to the
subdivision.
such a bright spotlight, he hasn't been blinded by that.
Compound time beats are divisible by 3.
And again, then you have the reassurance of Soaz, like the oldest player, or in terms of like championships that he's attended, just sitting right behind him. It's like he's got nothing to worry about.
Right, that's just the top lane. Let's stroll on down to the mid lane where we find Caps versus Rookie.
Yeah, and this is another matchup of Titans, but when they did play in the group stage, it was Rookie getting the better of Caps, and then the team that's linked to Caps kind of helping him through that so he could play in team fights. You look at Rookie in this
All
tournament,
groups of flag notes must be grouped by the beat and never joined beyond that, so that both the beat and the triple pulse pattern are clearly visible at all times.
The fact that he never misses any CS, that he's always perfect on the roam. To be fair to Caps, Rookie did get the counter pick several times. I don't expect this to be the same matchup.
Plus 20?
It's ridiculous.
On average.
And I almost feel like it's going to be a gauntlet toss of who's going to get LeBlanc. Are they going to ban it? Because if you give it to either of these guys, they'll pop off and control the game.
I think it's something that is very important to highlight as well. I feel like the Hillisang interaction and Broxah interaction is much heavier for Caps. And Caps as a player likes to play, if he has an advantage, he likes to just continue snowballing mid lane. Rookie, when he gets advantages, snowballs the rest of the map. So it's a very interesting kind of dynamic with these differences of styles.
Yeah, and look at how many different champions are on these pools. We saw something similar for top lane. You only get 3 bans at the start on each side. There is so many mind games and skill matches and skill checks that are going to happen between
Look at these time signatures, dude. 16, 12, 16.
Players capable of beating their opponents, even if I think IG has a slight edge going into it.
11 champions between them. You only have a maximum of 5 games. So again, this boils down to those priorities. What do you as a team and as a player value specifically in that 1v1 matchup across from, say, Rookie, the best performing player at the tournament?
It's also kind of like what confidence you have to break that. You know, we'll see so many people, what if they decide to leave?
You have to be insane to do that, man. 12, 16. Stupid. Holy shit, I have 3 viewers? What the fuck? Why are you guys here? Who's even watching me?
저는 레클레사 실력도 출중하지만 또 외모가 시니까 저희가 이제 비교도 외모가 좀 깔리거든요.
die.
저한테 우승컵 드리는 것도 좀 나쁘지 않을까 생각해요. 레클레사도 그냥 뭐 영업에 하셔 돈 벌어서 될 것 같은데 장난이고 뭐 레클레사도 되게 오래 하셨으니까 그렇기 때문에 이 롤컵 우승이라는 타이틀이 되게 목숨도 걸고 되게 갈망하실 텐데 뭐 저희도 똑같거든요. 저도 뭐 레클레사보단 안 했지만 그래도 오래 했던 베테랑 선수라서 그냥 서로 약간 갈망 누가 더 갈망하냐 이 차이일 것 같아요.
Rip, my prayer ran out.
A little bit of fun in the interview before
Distracted by stream.
Users, Amy Candyland.
I don't even know who these people are, man.
Commander Root, Electrical Longboard, Positivity Bot, Slow Cool, and Snowman.
So we've done the same. Let's pull up the scorecard and see who indexes where.
Yeah, I think we have painted Invictus Gaming as this mechanically lane-focused team, and what Mike decided is how well they can transition team play, whereas Fnatic, how well can they do in lane so that their team play can take over? I think you see that with the jungle, the bot, and support, which have actually been more supportive to the solo lanes in the last few weeks of the World Championship.
Something I want to highlight, though, I feel like Reckless is someone that plays very, very few amount of champions. He has kind of set this meta.
Amy Candyland does cosplay and body paint.
Hillisang is playing Braum as well.
Nice.
I'm curious to see what happens when bot lane
Just creeping on your viewers, don't mind me.
When was that account created? I know Electrical Longboard was created like last year or
that
something.
might kind of change the matchup a bit.
Yeah,
October 24th, 2018.
Yeah.
Recent.
Is Jackie love to go to one of his signature picks in the Draven and actually try to play towards lane?
Got 9,500 views though.
I don't think it's a real account.
Everyone knows the solo laners are going to go back and forth. Who's going to get the matchup?
8,500.
Who's going to determine the draft phase? But
Commander Root has 4.664 million views. What the fuck?
While there are 3 check marks on the side of Fnatic, doesn't necessarily mean that Fnatic is by any means a favorite. We've looked at this
45,375 followers.
Especially when we've come to the knockout stages.
Exactly. It's more important to win the mid and top lane, but also other lanes can contribute to the mid or top lane.
That's what he's streamed.
Right? Like it's a 1v1 CS matchup, but a team can win mid lane, as we actually saw. Even in the tiebreakers between Fnatic and IG, Rookie won the CS war, but then
statistics, so it says top.
coming from the other side, and Rookie completely lost his lead, and then Caps took over in team fights. So it's just very close. And very
Everybody in the chat just spams follow for follow. Like for like.
my favorite time of the countdown, when I get to talk to you guys about your favorite moments or most interesting moments from Worlds so far. And this has been one filled with twists, turns, topsy-turvy, upsets, as we heard Waylon and Jared saying so long ago. But let's start with it. Yamato, what for you has been the most interesting thing about Worlds 2018?
I love the meta. I love the meta game. I think it's, you know, it's been summarized that, you know, wards are gone. That's why it's so crazy. But I think it's way more than that. I feel like when you strive for perfection, you try to push your limits and you play on the edge. That's why there's so many crazy mistakes happening sometimes. Because these teams that want to win are playing on the edge. And when you do, you strive for perfection, you want to get there, and that's why the game looks so different. And Korea's always been playing safe and punishing these other teams that played safe and made mistakes while doing it. But as we proceed, go further and further, I think it's going to be just crazier and crazier.
That's what I think is really interesting, is a lot of people will see just like these 24, 27-minute victories and think, you know, that team smashed them. But I feel like the meta is so volatile right now that it comes down to these very tiny micro decisions. You know, a level 2 gank that goes sideways because of the snowball factor. You have champions like Aatrox, like LeBlanc. If you get 1, 2 kills onto these champions, the game is pretty much over. So I feel like even if it's a smash one way or the other, it's still a very close series, and it's right in those micro moments of who's going to make the big outplay.
Yeah, because I got to say, going into 20 minutes, even if you're 3,000 gold ahead, yes, we've seen some games run away. We've seen a lot of 3,000 to 4,000 gold comebacks at 20 minutes as well, because if you out-execute in a 4v4 or you get 4 people to the place in the right time, you'll win the fight. And I love what you talk about of playing close to the edge, because I feel like so many Korean teams have been coached for so many years to make the reliable play. Only take 90-10s.
Yeah.
But if the other teams get good enough at the 60-40 and the 50-50, they're going to take so many more shots than you on the edge. And the Korean teams are so far away from the edge, they're not even trying, it almost felt like at some moments. So I think some of the changes that were made to the game rewarded that. I don't think it was because of wards, as Yamato said. Ward numbers are actually very close to last year. Even though the map is a little bit darker, there's larger things of play as far as how much risk teams are able to take successfully.
Prosperin, what about for you? What's your big takeaway?
For me, it's looking a lot at the champions. You know, I've just loved, I used to be a draft macro coach, and so looking at the drafting, I just think it's ingenious, some of the things that these teams are doing. And so again, it's who is going to be able to play the deepest champion pool. Are we going to see any of these really interesting picks where maybe champions are getting flexed in strange positions to try to catch someone off guard? Because right now it feels like blue side is the side that most teams are opting in for. But if someone could break red side, make that really work for them, either get bonus power picks because they feel confident enough that they can flex them around, or they just can stack their laners like in Invictus Gaming, suddenly this series is very, very different. It's not just about who gets blue side most.
I think also speaking to the point of champions and the impact of it, I felt like during this season we had this huge meta break where everyone just became open-minded about what they could play in different lanes. We had the hammer being bottom and a bunch of other things. I think that kind of opened everyone's mind. All of a sudden we have players that have 15 champions in the champion pool, 20 champions in the champion pool, and when you get to that point,
the thing about Worlds though, like
League of Legends,
nobody, they all play the same champions. Like, when it comes down to it, like they don't change up the game. I wish there was like a cap on how many times you could play a champion, dude. Like in a series, it'd make it a lot more interesting and force teams to play a bigger variety of champions.
Their mid laners feel confident in both sides of the matchups, but if you don't, you're in a spot where you need to be good at all those things to survive.
Because it's always, they always ban the same 10 champions or 6 champions right off the start.
Play almost all the matchups in order to succeed.
Every best of 5 has had its own identity. This one will be no different than the others in that sense. Jat, what about for you?
126.
World, how's it been?
Yeah, so we've talked a lot about history at the World Championship so far. And I remember casting some of the early World Championships, 2012, when the
16th note gets a beat. Oh god, 3-4, 12 beats to a measure.
Because there were a lot of people at the time who thought you would burn out in 2 years, or you cap out at 22 and then your mechanics die.
Right, and Mr. 17-year-old
comes 8 beats to fill here.
And that's not true. We've seen a great maturation of the sport, and I love looking at the two teams that are on stage today. We have Reckless, who Yamato mentioned has been playing League for his entire adult life, since he was 14. Rookie had almost all of the veterans on these teams have been playing forever. And then you also have the rookies. You have Jackula, who's still 17. You have Bwipo, who won Outstanding Rookie for the EULCS this year. You have this mix of young and old players, and I just think that's cool.
Which just brings us back to the idea that this is such a refreshing finals. Not only do we have two regions who haven't been here right in quite some time, Europe obviously season 1, but haven't been here in quite some time to be able to step onto the stage and have that opportunity for their regions, but both veterans and young players alike trying to do it together.
Yeah,
well, this is going to be my last
trip.
trip.
Korea, you know, from 2014 to 2018, and the fact that it is kind of turning the next page in League of Legends, this new era of it, the fact that it's not double LCK, that we could have a different champion here or recrowning a season 1 champion. And then you do have that great mixture of the veteran talent as well as the rookies.
And while we don't have a Korean team in the final, what better a place to return to, right? Kind of the birthplace of esports, being in Korea. You know, again, as I said, my first world championship, or first time to Korea was watching the World Championship, and I'm glad to be back.
And I gotta say, Europe watched a Korea final in Europe. China watched a Korea final in
Must
China.
be that.
Guess what Korea gets to watch? Europe versus China.
Yes, sweet, sweet revenge almost. But as you can see behind us, there is not an empty seat as the fans pour in anticipation of that opening ceremony just under a minute away. So with that, we are going to head inside the stadium to take a look at the sights and sounds and that countdown clock ahead of our opening ceremony presented by MasterCard.
Good work, guys.
No worry. I thought.
Opening ceremony.
Three. What the fuck? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 5 notes to fill. What the fuck is that? Oh, yeah, this one.
Oh my god, dude, are you watching League of Legends right now?
No.
They had a bunch of fucking animated characters walk on screen. Like, League of Legends characters dancing. Like, there's Evelyn. What the fuck is happening? Whose idea was this? Like, clearly CGI too, like.
I'll pull it up after I finish the test.
Yeah.
I'm running out of time after the distraction. Time signature there represents this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 4. Eight. 6, 8. Yep. And this could be 9/16. Yep, there it is. What the fuck is this? The 12/4, right? Yeah. Really dumb time signature 12/4, but yeah, that's yep.
12/4. Anything more than 4 is like, why? Like 4 beats per.
I mean, there's some that make sense, but 12/4 is not one that makes sense.
12/16 though.
Okay, so this is gonna be 12 beats.
What you need is 2464.
I think this is 1216 right here that I'm looking at.
12. Wait, no, 12. 1232.
3, 2, 3, 4, 2, yeah. It's 1216. Oh god. Okay, how about this one?
Oh, these animations, dude.
I saw some good animations last night. I sent them to Shay. Do you want to see them?
No, I don't. I had like Ari and fucking Evelyn and shit dancing on stage. Oh, it broke for a sec. Like this AR. It's not very good, man.
This is 12-4. Stupid thing again. Well, 8. If I get this, if I get a bad mark, I'm so confident of all my answers, I'm gonna be really upset if I get a bad mark. Some stupid shit. Fuck. 85 out of 100? What the fuck did I mess up? Oh shit. Fuck off. What's the League of Legends Twitch channel?
Riot Games. Oh no, it's League. Oh, right at Riot Games.
Oh, yeah. This isn't a dancing.
This isn't it, no.
That, is it?
No. They transitioned from the dancing to this.
Let me rewind a little bit and see what was
whatever the
going
fuck
on.
this is. You can rewind?
You can on YouTube, not on Twitch. Yeah. On Twitch you need to go and look at the video.
Yeah, on YouTube you can rewind. And it's LOL Esports on YouTube.
Is this not? Does it need to be a 25-hour live stream? This is so hard to scrub through.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, they've been live for 24 hours because the hype. So they've had like, you could just like use the K and then
arrow keys are I'm using to jump through it.
JK or yeah, J and L also.
Okay, I think it's happening here. That's pretty sweet. Okay, I'm the Ari hand doing the okay, so the characters are on stage now.
They did an Elder Dragon last year, I think. That was pretty neat.
Why is the video cut out here? Damn it, I didn't get to see it bug out.
Yeah, it bugs out after the song.
Yeah, I'm just gonna...
And they're like, the camera's moving forward, but they don't track the AR, so everything's moving forward with the camera. It looks fucking weird. Like, Ari's just sliding along the stage. It's like, okay, that's cool. Oh, that's neat.
Oh, so these things are gonna go in, and they're gonna go over those people there, eh?
Yeah, dude.
That's pretty sweet.
It's a good try. Holy shit, are they on a flying platform?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Flying over parts of the crowd right now.
What the fuck?
I mean, it's not flying, it's got wheels, but...
Yeah, but still. A giant moving platform, that's fucking epic. I guess they're not over the crowd, they have...
There was the crowd bit there. You see the little segment of people sitting under there? You see the tracks, and there's little pods of people sitting in there. Crazy how big Glitch Mob has gotten.
Crazy how big what's gotten? Sorry?
Glitch Mob. That's the band that was just playing there. They play the Rise song.
Yeah. What? You don't touch that. You didn't win.
자, 오늘 이곳 문학 경기장에 이르기 위한 험난한 여정. 그 길은 오늘 경기를 펼치게 된 이 두 팀의 뜨거운 열정이 만들어낸 땀과 노력. 그리고 와, 이렇게 문학 경기장을 가득 메워준 팬 여러분의 뜨거운 환호 함성이 있었습니다. 역대 최고의 팀 꺾었고 올 시즌은 싹쓸이했던 팀도 꺾었고 그리고 새로운 도전자도 이미 소환사컵을 눈앞에 두고 있는 이 두 팀 앞에 무릎을 꿇었습니다. 자, 이번 월즈에서 정말 역대급 퍼포먼스를 선보이며 명승부를 만드는 두 팀이 이제는 단 한 경기만을 남겨두고 있습니다. 바로 2018
Everybody in chat talking about subs.
Everyone's just question marking.
유럽의 위대한 희망
Fnare.
That was top, by the way. I like how he says 80 carry. It's fucking great. Caps. Eddie carry. Oh man, I love this guy.
여러분 다시 한번 프로티에게 큰 응원의 박수를 부탁드립니다. 자, 이제 이에 맞서는 팀을 여러분께 소개해드리도록 하겠습니다. From LPL carry 세킬러 서포트 파우라 One more time 여러분 다시 한번 RS에게 커다란 응원의 박수를 부탁드립니다. Okay, last.
Those groans though, that was good.
떼고 나갈지가 정말 관건인 것 같고.
Win every single Worlds, but this one in particular, this one is ours.
It is anticipation. That's what I thought.
Every year I've seen the trophy ceremony and I always thought it should be me. I knew it was going to be me one day. This is the best chance I'll ever get. Now that I'm here, I feel like I want it more than ever, and I don't think IG has the same sort of fire that we do.
레클랜서 되게 오래 하셨으니까 이 롤드컵 우승이라는 타이틀이 되게 목숨도 걸고 되게 갈망하실 텐데 뭐 저희도 똑같거든요.
It'll come down to who wants it more. You heard it here first.
제가 더 우승컵을 많이 받을 것 같아요.
Thought I was out of food.
One step, one best of 5 away from their dream of holding the title of world champions, but it's going to be the hardest step they've ever had to take. Some of these players playing on the biggest stage they've ever played on before, and after being introduced like that from a legend in his own right, Caster June, what? Wow!
Just to walk over the levitating intros as they came over the crowd. How do you slow down your heart after something like that?
Exactly. I mean,
That's crazy,
I'm
man.
sitting here with my heart racing. I can only imagine what it feels like to be a player on that stage, knowing that you're about to try and perform in front of a crowd this large.
Stage. The one that flew.
On the flying stage, yes.
You know, some of these members have never been on a stage. All of Invictus Gaming, save for Duke and Rookie, have never left China to even compete. When they went to Rift Rivals, it was still in China, and they're now standing on a levitating glass stage like, okay, we're also going to to play probably the most important series of our lives in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, without a doubt. But therefore, I think it's very important for us to kind of take a step back and recap how these teams ended up in the position that they did, starting with Fnatic and their road to the finals.
I think Fnatic, I think they definitely had the easiest side of the bracket. I think the main word I would say for them is dominance. I think they showed up big time in the groups. I think they deserved to get the easy bracket. They got the first seed over IG, and then they had EDG. They kind of swept them over, C9 even easier, and now they're here.
Yeah, you only need to you need to lose 3 games to lose a best of 5. Fnatic has lost 2 games this entire World Championship, 1 in the group stage and 1 in the quarterfinals. So they have definitely had a very dominant road to this point.
And I will say this though, while Fnatic, you know, people are going to look at kind of that soft best of 3 between IG and Fnatic and say Fnatic, you know, clear favorite.
So who are we cheering for here, Fnatic?
More times last time these teams faced. But if you look at Invictus Gaming's run, the fact that it was almost a 3-0 across from KT Roastal, that it was a 3-0 across from G2, I think that kind of skews the lens. You know, if you take a closer look at those games, that IG could actually be favorites in this matchup.
And you look at the whole year, IG was one of the best regular season teams we've ever had. 34-2, their cumulative record across a 17-1 spring and summer. And they as well haven't dropped that many games. The 2 they lost was to KT Roaster, the tournament favorite from Korea. So they have also had a dominant run to this point.
Fantastic regular seasons marred a little bit by some, you know, letdowns in those high pressure moments. They haven't let down in the pressure moments in the knockout stage so far this tournament. But as we just talked about, there is no greater stage than the World Final stage. So can that group of 5 players on both sides of the rift, can they step up to the moment?
For me, it's kind of like this idea about growth versus refinement. It feels like Fnatic are refining themselves.
Make another attempt here at the assignment.
You know, as Whippo really steps into his own. For Invictus Gaming, it's actually evolution. You know, Ning finding more picks, Jackie Love no longer cracking under pressure, and we saw the intense pressure in that KT Roaster series.
I think what's been the most impressive part for me, watching Fnatic the entire year, even though they consistently were on top the entire time, there was this little funnel blunder where Reckless was playing Janna and they swapped him out, but they were on top the entire time. And when you're on top, it's very hard to improve, but yet they did. They figured out their issues with how to play around caps. They figured out how to play bot lane. They put Whippo in there as well. They kept improving, and that's the thing that impressed me the most about this roster.
And they very much feel like a well-rounded team. We've said it, Reckless himself said it in that interview we had with him, that him stepping away really forced the team to grow into, you know, an animal that can win through many different strategies as opposed to only through that 80 carry in the bot lane.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at 2017, this team needed to win through individual outplays because they didn't have the map play. They learned the map play, but they still have the ability to win through individual outplays. So I think that's one of the things that has ended up completing this team to allow them to make this run to the finals.
IG almost remind me of kind of old school Fnatic. The fact that if you looked at them domestically in Europe, they have the 2 best carries. They have the best ADC, they have the best mid laner, and they would just dominate through teams. They were never really pushed. And so when they got to MSI and they followed greater team play, then they look internally.
Are they gonna die?
Let's tighten this up. Let's be a better team player instead of our superstars.
Nope.
IG,
not
they're not
today.
They've got some incredible superstars.